All right, hold on. Are you about to start right now?
Yeah.
So what do you want me to do? Just introduce the show and then just give the records out?
Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on a minute.
Hogan. What'd you say, Mama? Okay. I should switch my background picture. Do I got a second?
Yeah.
Let me see. Choose virtual background. If I go all black, how's that gonna look with a black jersey? Ooh, I think it looks a little bit better.
That looks good.
Yeah, I think it looks a little bit better. And you know what else I like about Streamlabs is that you were able to not like have the little box at the on the screen.
Uh-huh. It's a lot better that way, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start this off now, shall we? This is week 7 of the NFL, and it's week 7 of our picks, so we're going to start this out right away. This is Todd Fox here from Out of Bounds, along with
Mr. Carlos, the one and only.
the one and only. There it is. So we're coming to you live here on YouTube and other places to present to you the picks here for this week, and we're going to get started here. How did you do last week, or what are our records, including Randy's? Because Randy's is up there. That he's picking with us as well.
Well, last week you were 46, 34, and 1. This week you jumped up to 54 wins, 40 losses, and 1 tie. Last week I was 41 wins, 39 losses, and 1 tie. And I jumped up to 50 wins and 44 losses with that 1 tie. I look at it like we're doing really good, man. And then Randy had, I want to say, a 22-8 record. So right now he's looking pretty good.
That's not bad in just a couple weeks, because he hasn't been with us this entire time. But jumping up here for the first 2 weeks or whatever, he's put up some pretty good numbers. So again, if you're live and want to throw your picks towards us, then just hit us up on here. We'll see it here live as we get going with the NFL picks. But so far, again, we had a good, a pretty decent week. All things considered, there's a lot of 3-3 teams. So we're gonna have to see what happens here moving forward with the schedule. And as we do that, we're going to look at this. To me, this is like a bookend week. And what I mean by that is the first game of the week is not going to be a good one. Tomorrow, New Orleans, Arizona. That's going to start week 7. And then what's going to end week 7, the Bears against the Patriots. So hopefully there's some good games sandwiched in between those two stinkers.
Definitely, man. You want to talk about a dumpster game, man. The first one of the week is going to be a real dumpster. It's going to be a shame that game is a Thursday night football due to all the injuries because the Saints, they're going to be missing Michael Thomas for like the 100th game in a row. It seems like after he got that kid. Doesn't it seem like after he got that massive contract, he just out of nowhere just started having all these random injuries, and now he can't play a full season. He only plays like 3 games a year.
Yeah, look, they said he was like a probable for the Seahawks game, and that was 2-3 weeks ago. And this guy can't stay healthy, like you said, man. I mean, he'll play for a game or two, and he's a shell of himself. And if I'm a Saints fan, dude, I'm super pissed at this guy because I can't see him unless he turns the season around, Michael Thomas, and he plays the rest of the year and maybe gives you, some sort of, gives you some sort of numbers towards the end of the season. Is there a way to cut this guy?
No, not right now. And not with the money that they paid him. They just paid him like 2 years ago. Like a year and a half ago, and that was when he was still healthy and he was sitting out and all that. And then as soon as he got that contract, guess what he does? He's like, "Nah, I can sit out because my leg hurts." That's probably what he said. But he has like a squiggly voice, like he's this big mammoth ass individual.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, this is he talked like Mickey Mouse." It's weird because I never knew what he sounded like, but then when he started talking, when I caught a glimpse of a video on YouTube, I clicked on. I was like, "Wonder what this guy sounds like." Man, I never heard his voice, and then I was like, "He sounds like Mickey Mouse. He sounds all squiggly."
He's like, "I'm gonna play this week."
Yeah. Like his frame doesn't match up that pre-teen like that. Well, I guess pre-teen voice. That pre-puberty voice, I guess he hasn't cracked yet.
Apparently, dude. Well, in this game right now, the Cardinals are favored big time in this one. They have a 61% probability of winning. Uh, but Cardinals at home, I mean, look, the offense hasn't come together at all in this one. Jameis Winston looks to play in this game. I think they're going to start him from what I heard. So opinions on this thing. Do you want me to take first crack or you want to take or should
I could go first on this one. Whenever you want to take first crack, go right ahead. Go right ahead and lead into it. But I kind of feel I could take a swing at this one. I don't trust the Cardinals, man. Honestly, I don't trust. Even though it's New Orleans with all those injuries, I just don't trust the Cardinals. James Conner has not been himself. Yeah, there's a lot of injuries hindering the Saints, but they've still been competitive in other games. The Cardinals are just absolute. I don't know, man. Cliff Kingsbury. Who do you really trust more, Cliff Kingsbury or Dennis Allen, the head coach of the Saints? Dennis Allen was around Sean Payton a lot more. Cliff Kingsbury, he's been a loser his whole entire career as a head coach, but he's got the coolest glasses and the coolest beard that you could ever see on the sidelines, even in an indoor game. Like the guy's
ironic. Edelman's struggling with reception.
A nut or whatever you want to call him.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna just keep it simple, man. I'm gonna just go with I'm going with New Orleans. There's no reason for me to pick the Cardinals. I just don't believe in anything the Cardinals have, bro. Like it's just Kyler Murray's gonna just. I think Jameis Winston is probably a better quarterback right now. I would trust Jameis Winston more than and Andy Dalton. If Andy Dalton actually finishes the game, and they also got Taysom Hill too. So yeah, there's a lot more opportunity for plays to be made for New Orleans' offense, even with all the injuries. Arizona's just there. DeAndre Hopkins is coming back. Marquise Brown just went on IR. And then they just traded for Robbie Anderson. Who knows if he's going to play or not? But do you really trust the Cardinals' defense or offense? I don't know. I'm going with New Orleans, man. There's not much. I'm not buying the Cardinals in this game. I'm going New Orleans.
I think I'm gonna join you on this one. The Saints are 2-4, 1-1 away. Cardinals are 2-4, 0-3 at home. 0-3 is pretty bad at home. I don't trust the Cardinals either. Their offense hasn't done anything. Again, if Kyler Murray's not throwing the ball to Zach Ertz, he's running for his life. Like you said, they have no running game right now. The offensive line's been poor at best. The defense has been exposed. J.J. Watt's playing, so that means their defense is weaker than it usually is. So give me the Saints in this one. I do like, the Saints have one. It seems like they have one good game, one bad game, one good game, one bad game. Their last game was good, obviously, against the Bengals, but I don't see them shitting the bed here against the Cardinals. So I see them going 3-4 and I see the Cardinals going 0-4 at home. That's pretty crazy, right?
Would that not be something right there? It's just Cliff Kingsbury being living up to his resume.
It would be. It would be.
And you know what? What's crazy about it? Kyler Murray was his quarterback in college. And Kyler Murray has also spilled out the idea of him wanting to go to baseball, too. So his heart really isn't there. So what type of leader is he?
Well, they had to give him a fat contract to leave baseball. So
they should have let him go. But then again, you go back to the thought of who are they going to replace Kyler Murray with? And Arizona does not have any options. What are they going to do? Go back to Josh Rosen?
I forget what team he was last playing for. That dude bounced around.
I think he's with New England.
Well, I thought he would have been out of the freaking or in the XFL or the USFL, whatever they're calling those leagues nowadays.
That's crazy. He was a first round pick too.
Well, his nose was a first round pick. That thing was a Hall of Famer right there. His nose. Peacock.
You mean to tell me that the Cardinals picked his big nose?
See what you did there. All right, well, let's jump into the second game, which is the Cleveland Browns, 2-4. They will face off against the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. Baltimore is 3-3, so it's not like Cleveland is behind the 8 ball. But if they lose this game to Baltimore, it's a huge deal. If they win, that screws up that division even more. Who do you got and why in this game?
Man, Baltimore has been so close. Well, they've had every game in the bag, and they just seem to not be able to close the games out. It just seems like they're just running into stupid mistakes. But Cleveland just seems like they're the same old, same old. This one, I just have a gut feeling. My heart, gut, mind, everything is just leaning towards Baltimore, which is never a good thing, You know my past, the way I think. Every time I go heavy on one team, everybody should go the complete opposite because I tend to be a jinx. So with that being said, I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns because I literally can see Baltimore snapping their win streak on Cleveland, and it's so easy to go Baltimore. But dude, I've been picking against Baltimore. I kind of want to pick them this week because dude, Baltimore is not a team that's gonna go like what? They're on a 3-game losing streak, 2 or 3 game. They're not that bad to pick against every single week. They do have some playmakers, and Cleveland, yeah, they just picked up. No, they just got beat, right? To New England, they just got beat, and they're just kind of like what's the one team? They're kind of like the New Orleans Saints. They're going to give you a good game and then a bad game. They'll be in every single game. Baltimore could put up points. It's just can they protect the ball? I think I'm going to go with Baltimore in this one because if they build up a lead like they have been, Cleveland doesn't have the quarterback to lead them back down by 10 or 17. They have Jacoby Brissett, and then they have a whole bunch of no-name wide receivers. And Baltimore, they can just pin their ears back, and they can just not necessarily pin their ears back, but they would if they could stop the run for like 1 or 2 drives, they'll put Cleveland behind the 8 ball, and then Baltimore, all they have to do is get up to 23 points, and Baltimore can win that game. Cleveland doesn't have the type of offense to score more than 23 points, so I'm going with Baltimore.
Okay, I'm going to go with Baltimore as well. I've picked Cleveland 3 or 4 times. They've given me 3 or 4 losses. I keep thinking that they're going to break through without Watson, and that defense is going to show up. The defense is not showing up as much as they should this year. The offense has struggled at times. They have not been consistent. They'll have a good half, but then they'll have a bad second half. And usually, like you brought up before, like with Harbaugh on the last show, he's a really good coach, but he makes dumb decisions. But I don't see him making dumb decisions back to back. And then with Lamar Jackson, usually he doesn't string along a lot of losses back and forth. Yeah. So I do give Baltimore. They're like, if this game was in Cleveland, I'd favor Cleveland. I'd give Cleveland, even with all that said, the benefit of the doubt. But something tells me Baltimore is going to get a sloppy victory in this one and beat Cleveland fairly easy. Let's see, notable. Is there any injuries on this one? There's just a bunch of questionable guys. So basically, both teams are coming in fairly healthy. Real quick, though, what I wanted to bring up to you, if you've looked at any of these games moving forward, and spoiler alert, there's only, to me, one game where you have 2 contenders taking on each other. In every single game that we have to offer this week, it's either 2, teams that are about 3-3, 2-4, or 3-3 together, or there's one good team versus one bad team. And so there's only one marquee matchup this entire week, and we'll get to that later on. But it's a real weird week, basically.
It's just what do you call it? The NFL in a nutshell right here. This is the NFL in a nutshell, week 7.
Yep, because here we are again. If you look at it right now, you have another matchup as we got off that one. We both agree with Baltimore. The next game is Tampa Bay at Carolina. Again, this is an average Tampa Bay team with injuries. They're 3-3. They go into Carolina, who's 1-5, who has all sorts of issues.
Oh man.
So yeah,
coin flip this one, honestly.
I don't know. I mean, right now, supposedly, what I'm seeing right now, you see a lot of people picking Tampa Bay hands down. But is it really that safe? Do you think, or is this like you said, is this a coin flip?
I think, to be honest with you, I would probably go with Tampa Bay only because of the trade rumors of Christian McCaffrey. So I think that with trade rumors, new coaches in town, and Robbie Anderson getting traded out, who knows how the locker room actually feels about that? Who knows what the plan is? I think they're tired. They're tired. The Carolina Panthers management, I think what's going to end up happening is they're just tired of losing, bro. They're tired of gambling with these quarterbacks, giving away their first round picks, and with this upcoming draft, I think they're shooting for a quarterback. I think they're going to try and get the number 1 overall pick, and they can do it. All they have to do is just tank the whole entire season, and hopefully the Texans can win a couple games, and Washington can win a couple games. But Carolina's probably going to try and get the number 1 overall pick, so that way they can get a quarterback. Well, I don't even know if they have any first round picks. I don't know if you got that in front of you or not, but I know they traded a whole bunch of picks for who was it? A whole bunch of quarterbacks: Cam Newton, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, all these quarterbacks that nobody would even do it in on a Madden franchise. Like, dude, those were terrible moves. That was just Matt Rule being Matt Rule.
Yeah,
He took the money. He took the big bag of money. He ran away with it, and he left Carolina absolutely stranded with no first round picks. So who knows what type of direction they're going in. But to get back to your question, I'm going with Tampa Bay on this one because of the mess that Carolina's in. Yeah, Tampa Bay is struggling and they're in a funk right now, but they don't have trade rumors or anything like that. They're going to pick up a win in this one. Tampa Bay is.
And supposedly Baker Mayfield's not handed this game. They're projecting him to start, but I don't see him starting. They're not, they're pretty pissed off on his his ethics and the way he's conducting himself as a quarterback. He's not being a leader. So there's animosity there. That whole franchise is fucked right now. Tampa Bay is on the back end of they're barely holding on to try to be consistent, trying to be a force, but like we said before, I don't see them as a force. Right now they've got a couple of easy games here, and this one should be one they take care of, but I think Carolina actually keeps it close for a little bit. And this could be one of the final games you see McCaffrey in a Panther uniform. So I'd say this is more like a 20-10, 23-10 type Tampa Bay win. Kind of boring, ugly game.
It definitely is going to be boring, and just like you said, because Tampa's on the back burner of their success. They're on the downhill now.
Mm-hmm. So we're in agreement right there. Tampa Bay over Carolina. That'll move us to the next game. And again, this is another one where it's not a marquee matchup, but it's a little bit. I mean, this is an intriguing game for me. I don't know how it is for you, but this is an intriguing game for me. It's the Atlanta Falcons 3-3 versus Cincinnati Bengals 3-3. Do you see the Atlanta Falcons rising to a team that we got to keep our eye on if they get a victory here? Because this will be a huge win if they could win in Cincinnati. Or do you see this game as, hey, Cincinnati's going to get above 500 to 4-3 for the first time, and are they going to be on a roll? They're going to try to get that division back in hand and start moving towards the playoffs. What do you think happens in this game?
Do you got the injuries in front of you? Is Cordero Patterson playing, or is he still out?
No, Patterson I think's done for the year. The only other guy that's out for is Casey Hayward, their cornerback.
They still play pretty good. They got confidence. They build confidence up. Whereas Cincinnati, they're in that Super Bowl hangover. Give me Atlanta in this one. Give me Atlanta. I'll keep it nice and short and simple. You could easily just without looking at the playoff run that the Bengals had last year. You got to get away from that now, man. They're just they're living in that. They're still living in that moment, and they're keeping everybody in that same moment. Everybody's a prisoner of that moment right there. We got to move on from that, bro. Atlanta's playing better right now as it is. You can't. Last year is last year. Last year's Super Bowl. I'm not looking at it like that no more. I'm going with Atlanta in this one. They're playing better right now. Cincinnati, they've been a 50-50 team at best. Atlanta at the moment is a 75 to 25% winner in my eyes.
Do they have better plays?
I'm not going to go into that trap. I'm going to try my hardest, you asshole. I already said it yet. We've gone. This will be what, 1, 2, 3. This will be our 4th game, and I still haven't said it. So it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen, but not in this one.
But overall, do they have they have better players? Maybe,
dude, it's going to happen. Trust me, it'll happen.
All right, just making sure.
You just got to wait for it. I know you're dying for it. You got your horn ready? Your bike horn?
Oh, I'm ready, dude. It's right here.
All right, let's see who you're picking.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I just look, if they win this week, if the Falcons win this week, I'll gladly take a loss, and I will jump on that Falcons bandwagon as far as not as far as a fan, but as far as hey man, I'm gonna give them some shade, some respect when they play other teams. Because right now, I want to buy into the Falcons because of what they're doing and how they're doing it, because it's very respectful. But I'm going to make mine short and sweet. I think Cincinnati serves at home and does a good job.
Who do you think is the best? Do you think Jamar Chase goes over 150 yards in this game?
Yes, I do.
If Jamar Chase goes out, forget about it. Cincinnati's going to work Atlanta. Dude, Atlanta's been playing really good.
But then again, I mean, their secondary was bad in the first couple weeks, and then it's looked good the last couple weeks. So I don't know. That's why I'm iffy about this one.
At GA,
I think Atlanta. Well, one last thing. I think Atlanta smells blood in the water, and they look like the best team, man. They really do look like the best team. Because honestly, New Orleans is 50-50. They're you don't know what you're going to get out of New Orleans. Tampa Bay's on the downswing, and then Carolina. I think Atlanta's man, this is our year to make the playoffs and win a division with Tom Brady in the division.
Are they the better team in that division?
Dude. You can go fuck yourself. Huh? No. But what you call it? Atlanta, they had to swing for the fences. Baseball reference right there, man. They had to hit a home run on this one. They beat Cincinnati, but forget about it. Atlanta just beat San Francisco, and they beat. I hate saying that last year's Super Bowl winner up because that was last year, man. But hey, it's still in their back pocket and it's in their mind. So give me Atlanta, man.
Okay. That moves us on to the next game. The Detroit Lions, everyone's favorite loser, 1-4. They're well on their way to being, because look, every year they're always asked, hey, why does the Lions always get a Thanksgiving Day game? They suck ass. And why do the Cowboys get one? Well, the Cowboys do, for the most part, they're usually a really good team. The Detroit Lions, not so much. But with that being said, the two Thanksgiving teams square themselves away in a rare matchup. The Detroit Lions are 1-4, 0-2 on the road. They take on the Dallas Cowboys, fresh off a loss to their division rival Philadelphia Eagles. They are now 4-2, 2-1 at home. There's a good chance that Dak Prescott gets the start in this one, but you might see Kareem Rush get a late Rush. Yeah, Cooper Rush might get a late nod at starter because I think they have a bye after this week. So, Jack Goff versus Rush. We're going to assume Rush is starting in this one. Dallas versus the Lions. Who do you got?
Man, I really, really want to pick Detroit. I could. This is definitely a trap game, especially with with Cooper Rush not knowing if he's going to be a starter and all this back and forth. But dude, the defense is still the defense for Dallas, and that's what's been keeping Dallas upright. Doesn't matter who their quarterback is. Detroit, they're destined for a win, man. If they had a team that didn't have if Dallas had a average defense, I would easily go with Detroit in this one because Detroit, they're just falling off the rails, dude. They're just not a threatening team right now. Dallas, they just took a L to the Eagles, and if they take back-to-back L's, that's going to put them in the wild card race, bro. Like they'll be struggling. They'll be right there with all 3-3 teams, and they'll be like, damn, we're that much closer to missing the playoffs. So. Here it is, man. Better team, better roster, better pizza. Give me the Dallas Cowboys.
Go, Papa John's.
What's their it's we them boys, or how about them Cowboys? I don't know what the hell they say.
Well, you got the old Jimmy Johnson. How about them Cowboys? And then you got the we them boys too. So
all that annoying ass shit.
Yeah,
I'll pick the Cowboys this 1 week.
All right, well there you go, the Cowboys. Now. Moving on to another NFC East. Oh, I got the Cowboys.
You don't even want to pick this game up.
No, because it's like for me, it's like a no-brainer, dude. I don't see Jack Goff. Look, I see Jack Goff trying to get some points up, but we saw what he did against New England. Against a good defense, Jack Goff can do some things against the division rival like the Vikings because that's division rivals.
Yeah.
But when you're playing a good defense like he's going to face against the Cowboys, dude, I don't give him much credit in this one. Unless the Cowboys turn the ball over like crazy, this should be a walkthrough for the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's also cross-eyed potato coming back to Detroit. Remember, he used to be the coach of the Packers, so he doesn't want to lose to the Lions. He knows how to beat the Lions.
Yeah, he does.
It'll be funny if the Lions beat the Cowboys with Dak Prescott back.
That would be, because then everyone would be like, "Where's Rush?"
I'd love to take an L on that one.
Because Cowboy fans do they get offended easily and they get upset and they're quick to trigger, man. Like a guy could come in off of like 5 straight weeks of winning, he does one thing, it's like that guy sucks.
There are a very, very, very few amount of Cowboy fans that you could actually talk to about football without them getting obnoxious and annoying where you just wanted to stop talking football with them. But a guy like Matt, he's a really good football fan because he'll sit there and he'll get constructive criticism and agree with you when you're right. Like you got to respect fans like that.
Yeah, he knows his football. He knows when it's like he's like us with our teams.
Yeah,
but there you go,
mature fan.
Mm-hmm. But give me Dallas right there. But his rival, the New York Giants, are now 5-1. Can they go to 6-1? They are 2-0 on the road. They go into Jacksonville, who again at one point this season, a couple weeks ago, we were thinking they finally turned the corner with that WNBA team, but then they started missing a bunch of layups and having a bunch of turnovers and missing free throws. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are back down to 2-4, 1-1 at home. Their last home game, they got embarrassed by Houston. What's the Giants going to do? Is this going to be a defensive showdown struggle? Because, again, Jacksonville's got a pretty decent defense, too. So who do you got in this one?
This is a tough one. You know what? Since this is a tough one, I'm gonna take the underdog because I feel like Jacksonville. They're not a 3 game losing streak. They were so close with Philadelphia. I want to say they're on a 2 game losing streak. I'm probably wrong with that one, but they're not that bad. Dude, in New York, they're riding on a high. I don't think they're gonna be. I mean, they're eventually going to flame out. They eventually got to run into a bump in the road because too much success for a team that hasn't had success in so long
Mm-hmm.
to catch up to them. And Jacksonville, they're like, man, we were so close. You can't count out Jacksonville. They've shown signs. You can't count them out. Now they lose this week, then all hope is lost for the Jaguars. Because Giants, yeah, they've been playing really, really good, and they're right, and the media is riding them, so they're starting to feel good about themselves. I think they're going to overlook the Jaguars, which is bad,
Ooh.
bad, bad. So give me the Jaguars on this one because I feel like New York is full of themselves going into this game. The media is going to hype them up like the Jaguars are an absolute joke, which they're not. They're just not. They're just not an elite team. They're a good team. They're getting there. But the Giants are going to be full of themselves, and they're going to run into a buzzsaw in this game. Jacksonville for me.
This seems like a trap game to me too. So you're calling trap game, but I'm gonna share a couple stats with you. First of all, Vegas is saying that the over under on this one for total points is 42. I think that's a little high. I think this is going to be a low scoring game, much like not as low scoring as Houston Jacksonville, but it's going to be low scoring. They're also giving the Jaguars a 72% chance of winning.
Yeah.
Over the Giants, and also the Jaguars are a 3-point favorite.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm going to go with the Giants. I'm going to stick with the Giants in that defense. Give me that D. Just kidding. But give me the.
Oh my God, that horn! That horn is corn. No, but we like it on the show.
Exactly. I'll take Daniel Jones to honk his way to a victory in this one. I like the defense, but
Go ahead.
But I'm not sold on him. So if you're telling me, hey man, throw down some money on this one, I can't, dude. This one's gonna be close.
You know who Daniel Jones looks like before the game starts? Like when you're just standing and they're doing the national anthem or they're just showing him on the sidelines. He looks like Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber when he's got that ball haircut. Have you seen him before he like starts getting into the game and he starts like having messed up hair?
Yeah.
Like hair straight down. He looks like Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber.
He does, dude. That guy, like you said a couple weeks ago, it's a thing for the Giants to draft a dumb-looking quarterback. So
with no emotion, like poker face, like they always have the same look. Like,
yeah.
yeah. Kirk Cousins is another one too, but hey, he's starting to show himself. He's starting to show some of his character, like some of his personality starting to come out. Kirk Cousins. Have you seen those videos of him with the chains and all that?
No.
Dude, he's starting to like fit in. Like he's a nerd, but a cool nerd at that, man.
All right. Well, it's about time he shows some personality.
That coach is doing a lot for him, man. That head coach.
Yep. Now here's one. Like the next game, as we both picked, I picked the Giants. You got the Jags. This next game, I'd say, is the second best game of the week, and only because of records and the way that they're kind of playing better. But it's a division game on top of it. It's the Indianapolis Colts, 3-2-1. They go into Tennessee to play touchdown Titans. They're 3-2, fresh off a bye. This one's actually, Vegas is calling this one 50-50. This is a coin flip. So Jonathan Taylor is questionable for this game. He possibly could be back in the starting lineup. Who do you got in this one, Titans or the Colts, in a big division game early on?
Yeah, with this being a divisional game, I think, and it being 50-50, I think a lot of people would lean on the home field advantage, but I'm not buying Tennessee. I think that Derrick Henry hasn't shown that explosiveness that he has. I don't know. Maybe I've missed it. Maybe I haven't been paying close enough attention. I don't know what Derrick Henry's really done this year, but he hasn't really popped out like he has the last few years. The Colts, I mean, Matt Ryan, they're relying on Matt Ryan's arm. I trust Matt Ryan right now more than Ryan Tannehill because of what's been shown in front of you right now, in front of us. This whole entire season. I'm not going back to any previous season. I'm going back to right now. The last, what have you done for me lately? I'm going back to Alec Pierce.
Great entrance.
Who the hell is Alec Pierce for the Colts? Like that guy came from out of nowhere. Matt Ryan's making him a household name. Plus they got Michael Pittman, and then they got a variety of running backs. Yeah, give me the Colts on that one. Ryan Tannehill can go fuck off, bro. I'm not trusting Ryan Tannehill.
Here's the thing with this game right here. As you pick the Colts, I'm torn on this one because the Colts' running game's been so bad. Their defense has been pretty good. Their offensive line has been tore up and injury prone. So Ryan, as good as he's thrown the football, he's taken some hits. And then the Tennessee Titans, like you were saying, Derrick Henry has only had, I think, 1 or 2 100-yard rushing games. So the running game has not been as stout as it has. The Titans haven't been scoring many points. Tannehill looks like Miami Tannehill this year because the last 2 years he's played pretty good until the playoffs.
A.J. Brown.
Yeah, and so the offense has been a little up and down. Vrabel, the other cross-sided guy in the league, hasn't looked too smart the first 5 games through. I'm going to tell you, I'm reluctantly picking the Titans in this one. I'm not sold on either team. I think they both have their flaws, and that is obviously the weakest division in football. Not weakest division, but as far as teams you see that may do something in the playoffs, I really don't see that, a contender coming out of that division. So I'm going to lean towards the Titans because of their experience, but I could easily see the Colts winning this game. So I'm going to reluctantly
go with the Colts. Go with the Colts.
Nah, I'm gonna stick with the Titans, man. I'm gonna bust a Carlos and just go opposite.
I like that though. I like that. Look, even though we went opposites last week, there was only 1 or 2 game separation. So no matter how you look at it, man, we're just neck to neck. You got me by like 4 total games though. So hopefully you lose like 5 this week and I win 5 extra.
We'll see what happens, man.
Bad luck to you again before the show ends.
and let's move on. Let's move on to America's team. And no, I'm not talking about the Cowboys because we already talked about the Cowboys. Let's talk about America's team, the team that everyone just goes home to turn on their television, to watch with their family, to sit in front of the television or stream it. That is the Denver Broncos. Yeah. Broncos are 2-4, 2-1 at home, taking on the Jets. Jets. 4-2, 3-0 on the road. Robert Saleh's team is a 1-point underdog as they go into Denver. There is no notable injuries here for either team moving forward. A lot of questionable stuff, but the Jets coming on a high, the Broncos coming on a low. What's going to give in this game?
All right, I want you to pick first on this one.
I'll make it easy, dude. I like both defenses to show up in this game. Denver has shown no reluctancy on defense. They've made some stupid plays pass interference-wise. Some of their penalties have been pretty bad. I think the penalties are going to play a factor in this game. I think Russell Wilson's going to get harassed. There's nothing that tells me that he's going to play better. He could say, hey, Broncos country, let's ride. All he wants, but that's not going to make his passes more crisp. He hasn't thrown that beautiful rainbow pass yet. He's misfired a lot. He's missed reads. He's been sacked a lot. They have no running game right now. Offensively, they're going to struggle. I think defensively, it's going to keep the MILF Hunter in check for the most part. But I think the Jets will start getting their offense going in the second half because the more and more you put that Broncos defense out there, the more and more they're going to get tired. I like the Jets to win this game, but in a low-scoring, maybe like 20-13 game, I like the Jets to win this one.
What's the current streak that both teams are on? I know the Broncos are probably like on a what's the records and what kind of streak are they on? Are they on the Jets are like on a 2 or 3 game win streak, aren't they?
Yeah, Jets have won 3 straight. Broncos have lost 2 straight.
Right, give me the Broncos on this one.
Okay.
The reason I'm picking the Broncos is because if the NFL was so easy to predict by going with the better team every single Sunday, then the sport just wouldn't be the same by being so predictable. The Broncos, they're itching for a win. It's at home. It's not prime time, so maybe those prime time games are bothering the Broncos. They're finally going to have a regular start time. The Jets got to go from the East Coast to the Mountain Times. That's a mile high in the country, however you want to look at it. So different time zone, different atmosphere. In New York, they're just shut up. You wanted to say something like that so you can follow up with it, huh?
Different pizza?
Yeah, I mean the Jets they're riding high off of that win against Green Bay, but honestly, Green Bay has not looked impressive this year. Like everybody's crowning the Jets, like, oh man, the Jets. But then again, the Jets had what in previous years. You got to call a spade a spade. The Jets are a good team this year, even as bad as the Packers have been. The Jets beat a bad Packers team, but you got to crown them, bro. Like that's just respect. The Jets are a good team this year. Keep it short and simple. But I'm going with the Broncos only because it's not a primetime game. It's at home, Mile High. The Jets are riding high off of that Packers win, so they're going to be feeling really good about themselves, kind of like the New York Giants going against Jacksonville Jaguars. Give me the Broncos on this one. Russell Wilson looked pretty good in certain parts of the game, so I think he might look good for most of this game. I'm riding with the Broncos. What's their slogan? Let's ride.
Oh yeah,
Let's
Broncos
ride.
country. Let's ride.
Oh, put my cowboy hat on.
all I'm saying is all these matchups, dude. Like you can make a case for the underdog in every last one of them
Kohl's lowest prices of the season.
because of like the fact that you have all these teams that are either 500 or below. There's not really a game where you're gonna be like, oh, that's gonna be an easy blowout. So this is another one where it's gonna be close. But I get you, man. The Broncos could win this game, but I'm leaning towards the Jets. And here's another one.
Yeah, I can see the Jets easily winning that one. But then again, like I said, man, the NFL is all about mystery, bro. Sometimes you got to look at these games like they're trap games, and that's what makes the beauty of the sport so good. That the unexpected happens from time to time, and it's been happening a lot this year.
Absolutely, and that brings us to our next game, which you brought them up just a few seconds ago. The Green Bay Packers. Doom, 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 doom. Go Pack, go! There has not been the Go Pack Go formula at home. They've been struggling. They're 3-2 or 3-3 right now, and they're going to go into the Washington Woke.
Get ready.
I keep getting these advertisements. The Washington Wokers 2-4, 1-2 at home. Carson Wentz, the suckiest quarterback, the guy who's robbed so many franchises of money. He actually, I don't think is going to start in this game. So we're going to see the backup quarterback in this one. So. What do you think, Packers or the Washington Woke?
This one's easy for me. I'm gonna go with Washington in this one. Green Bay, dude, you do not lose at home in the frozen tundra to the Jets and then you lose to the Giants on top of that. This is the team that media's trying to cover them up. They're like, oh, it's good for them. Keyshawn Johnson, I'm gonna just say who it is. Keyshawn Johnson. I listen to ESPN in the morning for on my way to work. Dude, they're all over like, oh, Green Bay's going to turn it around. Give them time. Like, how many weeks do they need to give them time? They're in like the 7th seed or they're the 8th seed right now in the NFC is what they said. They were like, oh, yeah, they're going to turn it around. No, they're not going to turn it around this week. Washington's going to have a lot of pressure on Green Bay. They're dinking, donking, bro. Like, it's almost like a 50-50 game at this point. I'm not looking, like I said, I'm not looking at last year's success, the year before that, those 13-3 win seasons. I'm looking at Green Bay for what they are this year, and they're not a good team this year. Like if I pick them, I feel like I'm better off picking Washington because Washington, their defense their defense plays better than Green Bay's offense. Honestly, they had a close game against the Bears offense, against the Bears on prime time. Yeah, that's not saying a lot, but Washington's gonna get it going, and Tyler Heineke might be that spark plug that they were missing. So yeah, I'm going Washington.
I want to pick the Woke because the Woke beat Green Bay last time at home. Green Bay went up there and struggled. It was a rain game and all this other stuff.
Before you make your pick, because I got a feeling you're gonna go with Green Bay, but before that happens, Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur are already getting into it. Kind of like Aaron Rodgers is speaking to the media one way, like he's not liking the way the offense is being run, and Matt LaFleur's over here talking about I don't know what that means. So they're kind of arguing without actually arguing against each other. They're using the media to get after each other. So there's a lot of dysfunction going on in that organization right now. But I'll let you finish.
Yeah, I don't know, but it is, man. But I'm kind of like leaning towards the Woke to win this game because I have a feeling that the Woke are going to play. I mean, it's 57 degrees and sunny this weekend, so the weather's not going to be a factor. But I just can the Woke move the football against the Packers because I think the Packers are going to struggle to move the football against the Woke. So
what was working for Green Bay to start the season? They were running the ball and they've gotten away from it. At Washington, they just got their rookie running back and they were running him to the ground, bro. They're gonna just run that Green Bay D. They're gonna tire that defense out. If it's a low scoring game, give me Washington, bro. Like I just took over your whole entire. Go ahead. I'm gonna just shut up. But just keep that in mind too. That Washington's got that rookie running back and they're riding them high.
I'm going to pick the Woke as well because I think the Woke did their, Heineke almost beat the Packers, I think, last year too in Green Bay.
GIA.
So I think he's a wannabe Brett Favre type quarterback. He takes more risks, but he makes better decisions than freaking Carson Wentz. So if he's starting in this game, I think the Woke make enough plays on defense to hold the Packers in check, and I think the Woke will get a chance to win it at the end.
So with Sammy Watkins coming back, that doesn't scare you?
No, not at all, dude.
Watkins is coming back for the Packers.
Wow.
Think about that, man. The go-to wide receivers for Green Bay this year are fucking Cobb, Lazard, and fucking Watkins, bro. And then you got a tight end named Bob Tonyan. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, they've literally got to start that franchise over. They're going to have to clean house and do some things there.
Rodgers is probably this is his last year in Green Bay.
I'm pretty sure. That moves us now to the Houston Texans, 1-3-1. They're on the road. They go to the Raiders, who are 1-4, easily one of the biggest disappointments this year in football. The Raiders come in with Captain Eyeliner needing a victory in the worst way. They're 7-point favorites. Who do you got and why in this one?
On paper, the Raiders look like the better team, but they've had leads in Houston. They just got their win against
do they have better ingredients, like better plays?
Better, shut up.
They got that one pepperoni reverse.
Man, but dude, I want to go with Vegas in this one, but I don't know if I could. I don't know, bro. This is one of those I just don't know who I want to actually go with, because. Dude, man, it's just a big old sloppy mess. It's like this is the way I'm putting it, brother. The way I'm putting this game is you're gonna put a Raiders jersey and a Texans jersey in a dryer after you've washed it, right? In a dryer, so it's gonna go through the spinning cycle. You're gonna put a blindfold on, right? You're gonna open up the door after it's been spinning for like 5 minutes. You're gonna reach in and grab the first jersey, and that's the team that you're gonna go with. That's what I want to do in this game. I don't know who I want to pick in this one. It's in Vegas, but that doesn't mean nothing. They've got the better team on paper. But I'm just gonna go with Lovie Smith on this one. Lovie Smith is just that's the only reason I'm picking Houston over Vegas. That's honestly it right there. Just Lovie Smith. The Raiders haven't given me a reason to pick them. They've lost to fucking bad teams. The Texans, they're gonna win this game. I can see it.
All right, well, I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna go with the Raiders. Not to get embarrassed at home. I think they actually put a butt whooping. This is one of my butt whooping of the week. I think the Raiders get it. Destroy Houston at one point here. I don't like Davis Mills as a quarterback in general. I just don't think he's a good quarterback, man. He's a stopgap quarterback. That's all.
He's got the biggest neck in the NFL, doesn't he? Isn't he the guy with like a 10-foot neck?
Yeah, he's a giraffe wannabe, but give me the Raiders at home. I just think they got the Papa John's effect.
The better team, better roster, better team. Better pizza.
Exactly. So that'll move us on to the next game. My Seattle Seahawks, 3-3, 1-2 on the road, go into the Chargers, who are 4-2, 2-1 at home. I may or may not be at this game. The Seahawks are a 6-point underdog. Geno Smith has been playing pretty good, but the defense is suspect to the extreme. The Chargers' offense has been a little erratic. They've been off a little bit. Herbert might get his receiver back in this one. So we don't know if they're going to be. Keenan Allen is questionable. So we'll see if he's going to make it back into the starting lineup. If they get him back, watch out Seahawks along with Mike Williams. But who do you got in this game, Seahawks and Chargers?
Man, I like Seattle. I like what they're doing. Because man, I think they're a fun team to watch. But they're an underdog for a reason, and I think that the Chargers defense is gonna have their way with the Seahawks. DK Metcalf is inconsistent this year. Tyler Lockett at times flashes and shows why he's been in the league for so long. Kenneth Walker. I like the Seahawks, man. Over like as a team, I like what they have, but I just can't see them going into LA and beating the Chargers because the Chargers just got a stacked team. Like they actually like if the Seahawks had a slightly better defense, I'd go with Seattle, but I just can't see them beating the Chargers in this game. Well, with the Chargers to answer the question.
If the Chargers had Bosa, I'd say the Chargers would run roughshod on them and destroy them because you have two elite pass rushers with Khalil Mack and Big Nose Bosa. I would say take the Chargers in a walkthrough. The Chargers defenders have played a lot better too. Corners have been stout. The linebackers have been doing a good job. The Chargers are very underrated defensively. Offensively, with Eckler, I mean, that's what scares me. Like, all indications, bro, watching my Seahawks, the fact that they were running a 3-4, the fact they haven't been wrapping up defensively, the fact that, they've been giving up big yards where usual Pete Carroll teams, their secondaries aren't that good after the LOB, but their run game was always something that they could depend on. The bend and don't break defense, sort of what the Vikings have, was what the Seahawks were known for. Yeah. Now you don't have that. We've heard little about Diggs. You don't have Adams. The corners are all young. Kobe Bryant. You got Malau or whatever his name is.
Roland isn't the guy's name?
Roland. There you go. My bad.
It's like Woodland without the D. Woolen.
Yeah, Woolen. He's he's got 4 picks already.
He's good. He's fast. He's the one that caught up to Taysom Hill. Had he been a step faster, he would have prevented Taysom Hill from that game-winning touchdown a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, the defense has some bright spots, but they haven't found their juju yet. And I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, they did it against the Cardinals, because the Cardinals are not anywhere close to being good as Justin Herbert. The key for me is, can they put Justin Herbert on his ass? Can they put a good pass rush? Because I think Geno Smith's going to take some sacks in this game. Everything that I just said is pointing to me picking the Chargers, but damn it, I'm going to go with my biased pick in this one, and I'm going to pick the Seahawks in an upset.
You had me thinking all the way you were going with the Chargers. You had me thinking, I was like, oh, it sounds like a Chargers pick right here, because you were just sitting there just downgrading your defense, but then you at the last second you did that U-turn like, no.
Well, because I look at it this way, man. They're going to if they can get the ball out quick and they can run play actions and get the Chargers running the wrong way on misdirections, and Walker can open things up with a run game, open up the play action, Geno Smith might be able to actually do something. He might actually take some shots. But the Cardinals played him good last week because they didn't fall for the running game, even though Walker got that touchdown. And Geno really didn't look all that great. So if he has another performance like that, the Chargers are going to roll him. But I have a feeling, dude, on that turf that they might actually do something, and it's not going to be like this a Charger home game. There's going to be a lot of Seahawk fans, including myself. I might be there. So
I think you should, man. I think you should. Like, Seattle's coming to your house. You don't have to go to Seattle's house this time around.
Exactly.
And you're going to get some good tickets.
Yeah, tickets are as low as $30.
That's a bigger reason for you to go.
It's a better reason for me to go. Papa John's.
Yeah.
So enough with that one. I'm picking Seattle in the upset. Let's move on to the next game, which I think is the marquee game. Let's see if you agree with that. It's the Kansas City Chiefs, 4-2, going into Santa Clara, playing the Santa Clara 49ers, who are 3-3. They are 2-0 at home. Who do you got and why in this one?
Oh, damn! This is probably the game that should have been. Yeah, this should definitely have been the game of the week right here.
This should have been a Sunday or a Monday night game.
Yeah, to answer your question, this is let me see, San Francisco at home. It's not prime time. San Francisco's got tendencies to. I don't think they're a bad enough team to lose back-to-back games. I'm going with 49ers in this game. I think that they're going to hold the Chiefs down a little bit. I don't think the Chiefs are going to get out of hand. The 49ers, they have these tendencies where, like, everybody be like, oh, Kansas City in a heartbeat over the 49ers. The 49ers will dry that out, bro. The 49ers, the way they're going to win this game, if they win this game, is they're going to make this a absolutely boring-ass game, bro. Like, I've seen games where the Vikings play against the 49ers, and the Vikings are clearly a better team on paper, but the 49ers just dry that shit out, bro. Like, it's just watching the 49ers 49ers play against a team like the Chiefs, it's going to be a very, very boring-ass game. Watch. I'm telling you, I know how the Niners play in these type of games, bro. It's going to be the 49ers dragging this game out. Jimmy Garoppolo is still their quarterback. George Kittle, if he plays, but then again, they got Travis Kelce who can go off. But I still like the 49ers in this game.
In this game, you got a lot of stars. Ayuk, Samuel, Jimmy G. You got, Mahomes, Kelsey. I mean, the list goes on. The Chiefs got a lot of stars. This is going to be a fun football game. It could go the way you said, too, because the Niners, I think, are going to try to slow the pace down. The Chiefs are going to try to hurry it up. Yeah. So you're going to see back and forth right here. The Niners can put together a good 6-7 minute drive if the running game is on, and the Chiefs can put together a 2 minute or less touchdown drive. So this one's going to be fun, but I'm going to give the edge to Andy Reid and the Chiefs. I think Kelsey makes some big plays late in the game. And the Chiefs, because that's going to be a hostile environment. You're going to have a lot, I don't think you're going to have too many Chiefs fans there. They travel and all, but the Niners.
They wear the same colors.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, it's going to be loud. It's going to be a loud game. The excitement's going to be there, even though it's a 4 o'clock game. But I like the Chiefs to barely beat the Niners. I don't think this is a walkthrough by any stretch of the imagination. If this game's in Kansas City, I think the Chiefs win by like 10 or 13 points, but this is going to be a close one. I like this is definitely if I'm not at the Seattle game, I'm definitely going to be watching this game too.
Man, you're underestimating the boredom in this game.
All right, I'm just saying.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be one of them super slow-paced games. You're gonna be like, "What the hell is this?" I know it's preseason, but man, when the Vikings played the 49ers in the preseason game, dude, I was so excited because I was like, "Dude, the Vikings are gonna play," and because the whole offseason and all that, dude, 49ers did nobody a favor, and it was the worst preseason game ever, and that's saying a lot, bro. Like preseason means absolutely nothing to nobody. Nobody ever remembers preseason. Except if you're a Ravens fan, which are like 25-0 in preseason. I'll never forget that game against the 49ers in Minnesota. It was just so damn fun. I fell asleep on that game.
Oh, damn.
And I was looking forward to seeing the rookies and all that play, and it was boring, bro. The 49ers just play a boring style of football.
I only remember 2 other teams for preseason performances, and that's the Indianapolis Colts, because everyone would make a big deal about the Colts always being 0-4 with Peyton Manning, and then the Colts would come out and they'd win like 13 games. Or the year I think the Lions went 0-16, they were 4-0 in the
Raiders were like 3-0 in the preseason this year, I think.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter.
Like, yeah, right. Like, oh, what's wrong with this team? But this team looks so much better. Yeah, it's a preseason, but there's great signs of this team being great. This season when they're giving all the fans hope. Yeah, talk to me about that now.
Exactly. It doesn't mean shit. Sort of like this game right here, the Sunday night game. The Pittsburgh Steelers 2-4. Will Turd Biscuit get the start, or will it be Pickett because Pickett's coming out of concussion protocol? Will he be ready? We still don't know yet. But the Steelers are 2-4 going into Miami Dolphins. Tua looks to be the starter in this game, so you could have a Turd Biscuit Tua start. Miami Dolphins trying to get back to winning as they've lost 3 straight games. Who do you got and why in this one?
This was a good one. This was close. They're similar teams. Well, not really similar to Miami. They started off 3-0. Pittsburgh's been like, they'll surprise people when they win. Everybody be like, "Oh shit, Pittsburgh won!" Like that's how bad Pittsburgh is. But Miami, yeah, just because of that right there, I'm going with Miami because, dude, it's prime time. They don't have a quarterback. Tua's coming back. If he's healthy enough to play, which he is, because he's going to start. But then again, it's the Miami. They love throwing players out there when they're banged up. That could be tragic for the Dolphins right there. Teddy Bridgewater's still back there. Skylar Thompson looked pretty good against the Vikings. Yeah, I'm going with Miami, bro. I think Miami's got a better team. No. Better roster, better team, better game plan, better pizza, better win. And they better win.
All right, there you go. I think this is a record for Papa John's references.
I told you it was coming.
That's what she said. But give me I'm gonna go with the same thing. I'm gonna go with the Miami Dolphins. I think the Dolphins got a lot to prove. They want Tua to do good. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, their defense is just, Fitzpatrick back there. They have a freaking annoying defense. I mean, I don't remember a Steelers team that hasn't had a good defense. They've always kept their defense. Like they're like the Bears. You always count on them for having a good defense. Yeah. And I think
they've always had great safeties like Palomalo. They had Rod Woodson for a while. Then they got Mika Fitzpatrick. They had Ryan Clark. They're always good on defensive backs and line. You're not lying. The whole entire defense has always been good. But yeah, the safeties always stand out for the Steelers in every era.
Yeah, and they like to run the ball a lot, so it's going to be an ugly football game. Both these teams are going to try. My thing is, can Tyreek Hill have a big day? And if he has one of his, I'm catching double digits and 150, 160 yards, Dolphins should win this game. But I'm not going to sleep on the Steelers. Give me the Steelers in an upset. I think the Steelers beat the Dolphins.
Dude, I marked you down for the way you set it up, man. I marked you down for the Dolphins. Damn. I can go and switch that around.
I think the Dolphins continue their losing.
You think so?
I think so. I think there's something going on right there after the whole Tua incident.
You don't trust Matt McDaniels? I think that's what his name is.
No, I don't.
Another guy with cool shades. Yeah. He looks like he belongs out there in Miami. Have you seen him on the sidelines? He looks like he fits out there in Miami, right? He has that look. He's got that cool slick back hair. He's got them big ass fucking truck driver glasses. All he's missing is a toothpick.
Now, my question is, I don't want to see a visual. Let me preference that first. But speaking of sunglasses, your favorite coach, Cliff Kingsbury, do you think he wears sunglasses in the shower?
I think he wears goggles. He wears goggles over his sunglasses so he protects him.
You got to keep those Ray-Bans clean, right?
Yeah. What is it with sunglasses, bro? Like, are they always high, or what the hell's the deal with them? I think Cliff Kingsbury gets high as shit, bro. I think he's like, he gets right before the game. He's like, whoa, bright lights.
Exactly. He's like, oh man.
All right. The next game, the Monday night game, is going to be a fucking barn burner, bro. Go ahead and line it up, Todd.
This is the game right here where Troy Aikman and what's his name, the other guy?
Joe Buck.
Huh?
Joe Buck.
Yeah, Joe Buck realized, man, we shouldn't have took Monday Night Football because of games like this. Monday Night Football is not Sunday Night Football to where you could flex into a better matchup and have better pizza and everything. You're stuck with whatever they give you. And basically, it's the Bears 2-4, 0-3 on the road, who they had trouble last Thursday against the Woke. And then you have the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, who, again, you're not going to see the Patriots go in there and beat the Chiefs. You're not going to see them beat these other teams, but they're going to give them a matchup. But when they play the subpar teams like the Detroit Lions, the Cleveland Browns, and now looks like the Chicago Bears, I think they're going to put a pretty good ass whooping on them because their defense is that good. The Patriots' defense is very underestimated, and Bailey Zappe's giving them a lot of good offensive stuff. Mac Jones might have to beg for his job back, and the Patriots do just enough on the ground game to annoy the shit out of you. So I can't pick against I'm going to take this one first. I can't pick against the Patriots. I think the Patriots just absolutely steamroll the Bears.
You know, I wanted to pick the Bears in this game, but I really wanted to pick the Bears only because Bill Belichick's kryptonite has always been a mobile quarterback, and Justin Fields, he's very good at that. He's very good at moving around in the pocket and picking up yards with his feet. And then guys can get open because of that and make big plays, but they're just not consistent, bro. They're just not consistent. They'll have parts of the game where, like, plays in the game where you're like, damn, that was really good. Like Darnell Mooney had a one-handed catch against the Vikings, and then they look pretty good at times against Washington, but that's against Washington. New England, they've been smoking the last two teams. They put a fucking absolute beat down on the Lions and humbled the Lions down. They haven't been the same since that game. And then last week, who did the Patriots play? Who did they beat?
Cleveland.
Yeah, they beat the Browns. Yeah, I think that Bailey Zappe is what New England was actually looking for in Mac Jones. I think Bailey Zappe is not crazy. Bailey Zappe going to be the starter for New England. Like they go from Tom Brady from out of nowhere to another out of nowhere quarterback like Bailey Zappi. Like, was he even drafted? That's gonna be crazy if he turns out to be a franchise quarterback in that system. That would be absolutely fucking nuts, bro. Bill Belichick, like, he's fucking old as shit. Like, he's fucking still hanging in there, and he like people aren't questioning him and his play calling and all that. So yeah, give me the Patriots in this one. Chicago, they're just a big old dumpster fire, just smelling like straight shit. Flies all over the place, maggots all over the place, and yeah, bear down on this one. Bear,
Bear down.
So give me the Patriots on this one.
Well, here's the deal right now. I'll go through it real quick because you made some. Mac Jones is basically he's got what is it, 3? Well, where's his numbers right here? I just had it up here. Mac Jones, 2 touchdowns, 5 picks, 786 yards. He's got a 65% completion rate ratio. But Bailey Zappi has a 72.9 completion percentage. He's thrown for 600 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, and a rating of 111. He's literally being he's playing much better than Mac Jones. Is he the answer? We don't know. But if he goes off in this game, but then again, does he really need to go off? This isn't like you said, this isn't the Patriots quarterbacks or the era of a Tom Brady where you need him to spread the offense and throw the football. Belichick is really like dumbed down the offense, and it's working. But I think Zappi can make some throws that maybe Mac Jones can't right now.
Yeah.
So I like the Patriots. Like I said, you got the Patriots. I'm not high on Fields at all, dude. I think he's just another stopgap quarterback for the Bears.
That's fucking crazy, dude. Like, and then, dude, it's crazy because watching the Bears play, they're a rival team, but man, I'm starting to feel bad for that dude, that kid, Justin Fields. It seems like he's just destined for failure, bro. It's like he's a football player, bro. Like, if he would have been good and made Chicago good, that would have been good for the whole entire NFL right there. But it's just. Bro, it's just like he's going from one coach to another to another to another, and he's just not having any type of success whatsoever, man. It's just, and then the way he looks, like he throws an interception or a bad play happens, he just has that look where you're just like, damn, you just want to go and reach out to him and give him like a bro hug and pat him on the back, like it'll be all right. I just feel bad for the dude, man. He's in a terrible situation.
Yeah, that's a terrible team, man. The Bears are going to be in flux for a while, dude. It's just it is what it is. And by the way, for Bears fans or whatever, what are your thoughts on the Bears they're going to be moving out of Chicago. They're going to be moving to the suburbs here in a couple of years.
It's kind of like what the 49ers did. I think as long as they stay close by, the fans won't be angry. Like, you know what happened with the Chargers over there in LA and San Diego. I think it's good for them, bro. That Soldier Field's been around for so long. Like, it's just an open-ended field. Like, it's just like, just thinking about it, like, it's just old, bro. It's time to get something new and upgraded and treat your fans. Maybe that's what they've been missing, but we'll see what happens. It's just, I like it because it's making the whole entire sport of football better, and then team players are going to want to go and play in that stadium, and you know it'll be interesting to see how Bear fans react to it. I think it's good for the team.
I do too, and for one thing too, the safety. The Chicago, that city's a dumpster fire right now. Crime rampant. If you can move it to the suburbs, that's way better. So, you know.
Yeah. Ticket prices are going to be a little bit more and all that, but it's going to be good for the team because they won't have crime around their team.
They'll have better parking. They'll have better transportation, and most likely better pizza.
Better pizza stands close by.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing like a Chicago-style pizza. The one time I was in Chicago, them deep dish pizzas, it's heaven on earth. That's the best pizza I've ever tasted to this day.
It's about the only thing that's good in Chicago. Huh?
Basically. So those are our picks. You want to give a quick recap of what we picked and who?
All right, let me see if I could give everybody the recap without giving you a long-winded answer, which I'm already doing. All right, the Thursday night game, New Orleans goes into Arizona. We both went with the Saints in that one. And then the first game of Sunday, Atlanta and Cincinnati. We split. I went with the Dirty Birds. I went with Atlanta. You went with the Bengals. The next game is Detroit at Dallas. We both went with Dallas. And then the Colts versus the Titans. I went with the Colts. And you went with the Titans. Hey, the Colts name starts with C, and then that's where Carlos, and then the Titans start with a T. That's why you picked the Titans. It just clicked, bro. That's the only reason. It's just full circle right there.
There you go.
Corny. Green Bay at Washington. We both went with Washington. Tampa Bay at Carolina. We both went with Tampa Bay. The Giants going into Jacksonville. I went with Jacksonville. You went with the Giants. Cleveland at Baltimore. We both went with Baltimore in that one. The Jets going into Denver. I went with Denver. You went with the Jets. Houston going into Vegas. I went with Houston. You went with Vegas. The Seahawks. You went with the Seahawks, and I went with the Chargers. That game is happening in LA. The Kansas City Chiefs, you went with them, and I went with the 49ers. That game is in San Francisco. Should be the Monday night game or Sunday night game of the week, but hey, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And now the Sunday night game is Pittsburgh going into Miami. I went with Miami. You went with Pittsburgh. And then the best game of the week is the Patriots hosting the Chicago Bears. We both went with the Patriots.
Yes, we did. So there you go. We'll see what happens moving forward if we're right or wrong. Right now, I got a few game lead on Carlos. We got to actually bring down the win percentage of Randy, and we'll get his picks. I don't know what happened. He sent me the picks, but I could not pull them up. So my apologies, Randy. But we'll go through your picks this recap next week. We'll explain who you picked right there. So I'll get his picks later on because I think he's sleeping right now. He works nights too. So.
Yeah. Well, he's sleeping and thinking, and he's not catching all the Z's. He's catching all the W's right now.
Yeah, he is. But all right, man, that's our picks for this week. We hope everyone does good on their own picks and their teams win, but we'll see.
All right. So before we cut the show off, Randy's sitting at 22 wins, 8 losses. Todd, you're 54, 40, and 1. I'm 50, 44, and 1.
All right. You got it.
All right. And bad luck to you as usual.
You got it, man. Same here. Later. There we go.
I kept my eye on the